What's going on with everybody up out there? Welcome to the Fast Point View Podcast with your host, Trucker Chubby, aka Clarence Hampton III. This ain't your coaches and pros, the X's and O's. This is the Fast Point View. What we know, so let's go. Yo. What up? CJ made it on my beats, man. That is my music guy, man. CJ made it. Shout out. That's my son. He's a producer and everything. So proud of him, man. Doing this thing up out there. So proud of all my boy, my children's, man. They're doing so well. But yeah, man, that's who make my beats, man. Go by CJ made it. You want a beat, man? Holla at me, man. You know what I'm saying? Be dropping them on the ones and twos. Shout out. Yo, my Pittsburgh Steelers, they won the game, dog. They won. It was not an easy fleet plan, and it's not going to be easy. I knew, despite what everybody want to say about the records and the records that these other teams have out there, we are playing divisional football games, number one. These are divisional football games. Our schedule does not get any easier. We got the Browns at home. Then we go to Philly to play the Eagles. Then we go to Baltimore to play the Ravens. Then we finish off at home versus the Chiefs. And then we at home, I think we finish off the season. Who do we finish off the season? The Bengals at home. That's it. That's it for us. That's our season. And I'm excited. I'm super excited for the way that our season is taking place, man. It's on and popping. Like, and it really, with us playing the Browns next, we owe the Browns. We owe the Browns an ass whooping, an old-fashioned one. And I think that we're going to give it to them. It's going to be another tough game. Myles Garrett being there. It's going to be another tough game. I think we've seen a lot of what the Browns are going to try to do to us in our first matchup. And we came back on them, and it was snowing like crazy. It was a good old-fashioned snow football game. Now I get it, the elements and everything. There was no excuse. We came back in that game. I think we let it slip from us a little bit. We really couldn't do too much with their offense, and that can't happen. That defense was just crazy. We couldn't do no with Myles Garrett. We could not stop Myles Garrett that game. Now that's an old game, whatever. But this game here, when we played and we took on the Bengals and Joe Burrow, that is a high-powered offense over there. Despite what anybody wants to say, right? A lot of people had picked the Bengals to come out of the AFC North on top, and then pick the Ravens. But nobody really gave us a chance, seeing that we were going to have Justin Fields at quarterback and so forth and so on. And I want to keep that same exact energy, bro. Like, keep it the same way. And I now I understand how the Colorado fans feel towards me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's not that I'm mad at anybody for not doing it. I can't be mad at y'all for, you know what I'm saying, for like the Steelers. They've been bad, whatever else. But if it, like, I as a fan, I knew we were going to be bad, right? For, the past couple years we was. But this year, the team is different. Russell Wilson played an incredible game. We couldn't really stop. I mean, that's a high-powered offense. That offense for Joe Burrow, and it's hard to stop. And that's why you got a lot of people out there that had the Bengals winning our division. They just didn't have the Bengals winning our division because they thought, okay, the Bengals they're trash. They were going to end up with the record that they have right now. Nobody thought that about the Bengals. Like, come on, man. I didn't even think the Bengals would be this bad. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't think that the Bengals would. And who knows? They may go on a 4-game winning streak. They win out the rest of the season unless they're ready to just turn it in and say, you know what? we planning trips to Cabo, we gonna plan our trips to Paris, or they starting to make plans for the off season right now, unless the Bengals themselves have already given up on this season. You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of people are going to make that argument and say that they have, but how could you say that when they get in a bout with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it was the most scored rivalry game in our history of playing the Bengals? You know what I'm saying? And they fought, and they could have won. You know what I'm saying? Like, how they put up 38 points, we put up 44. We had to outscore them, and I think that was the most impressive thing about this game, is that we outscored our opponent. We scored 44 points. And if we could put up 44 points on our division rival, we could do that any week. And I was, and once again, I must say, for the people who just may now be turning into my videos, like, I was against Russ starting because Justin had the hot hand, and I figured Justin could learn as he goes. Will we be where we're at right now with Justin at quarterback? I don't know. He was 4-2. Russ right now, they're about even. You know what I mean? But that offense under Russ, it just seems so simple. It's really so simple. The schemes and everything is put together. It just seems so simple. It seems like maybe Justin was going for the big ball, and the big ball too much. But if you look at what the way that Russell Wilson was able to attack this Bengals defense, and the game plan changes with every team, right? But you don't want to go deep on the Bengals, right? If one thing they got, they always gonna stay with some decent defensive backs over there, right? So you don't want to attack them deep, not all the time. You got to take your shots periodically, not all the time with these teams. You got to get it, show them the underneath stuff. A lot of screen passes worked this game, just like me and Bishop agreed on. Just like Bishop called, must show him love for that, because he did come on here and he did say that, and now will not take credit for his words. But you've seen a lot of that. The run game really didn't get that much going this game, but like I said, who got the hot hand? I think Jaylen Warren had it at times. They key on Najee when it comes to running. I think we need to use Najee a little bit more in the passing game to open, like how kind of how we use Le'Veon, get him more involved in the passing game, and I think that'll open up for his runs. So when you thinking he's coming in for a passing play, just as if they looking at Jaylen Warren, when they thinking Jaylen Warren, then the Steelers are about to pass the ball, and then it opens up for Jaylen to get behind one of those 6'4", 6'5" offensive linemen and go ahead and break for a 7-9 or bigger game, right? And that's just what happens with Jaylen Warren. That's just the way that things go. And if you're watching us on film, but I like the way that we're looking now. We got some things that we need to work on. How far will we be able to get with the way that we look now? If you look around the NFL, the Lions are a heavy favorite right now for the Super Bowl at this point in the season, because they're just dominant. They're really dominant in all facets of the game. I think the Buffalo Bills are like that on offense because of Josh Allen. You take Josh Allen off of that Buffalo Bills offense, I think that it changes. I honestly do. That whole offense changes. Nobody can run that offense like Josh Allen. Keeping Josh Allen healthy is absolutely critical. I'll get into that a little bit after, I'm done talking about my Steelers. But right now, they're a heavy favorite because they're just dominant with the run game. And if you could stop that run game of the Lions, and Jared Goff has to beat you, that's your best bet of playing Detroit. They got a good defense, a great defense, just as we do. But you look around, I really don't, and I'm trying to take my bias out of looking at this. I don't really see a team that we cannot compete with in the NFL. So, am I ready to say we Super Bowl contenders? I think so. If we can finish off this regular season strong, lock down a playoff seed, I think we're good. I think we're good to go. I think we are good to go. Now, will home field advantage help us throughout the playoffs? Absolutely. But it's not something that it's not something that I really want to look forward to having this home field advantage. It don't matter. There's Steelers fans everywhere. We travel well. We're one of the most well-traveled fan bases in all of the NFL. Probably the most traveled fan base in all of the NFL, to be honest. So home field advantage to me is it's really not that important. So locking down a playoff spot and bringing Justin in to get Justin warmed up. And I don't want to say that Russ will get cold, but to help Russ, you know, he'll have family, have more family time. He'll get his body together, more focused on getting healthy for the playoffs, because we're going to need that playoff Russ. We're going to need Russ at his best. We're going to need him to be able to run on some of those run pass options. We're going to need him to run on read options. Like we're going to need a lot out of Russ for this playoffs. And I think having both of these quarterbacks was genius, because it'll give them time. It'll give Justin time to play some legit competition later in the season, and for Russ to get healthy, right? So if, God forbid anything that happened to Russ, you know what I'm saying? But injuries are, they happen. A lot of people are banged up. If that did happen, then Justin would be able to come in and we wouldn't miss a beat with this offense, right? Because I think they kept training wheels on Justin Fields, honestly, with the offense. I don't think they let him run the same offense that Russ is running right now. Maybe a little bit, but not, they didn't open it up. And now you can see that Arthur Smith has opened up the playbook to Russell Wilson, right? He's opened it up all the way. Like you cannot deny that as a Steelers fan. You see it anytime he could pass for over 400 yards. Now we're faced with a dilemma. What do we do? What do we do? Because I don't think that he's fell off the cliff yet. I don't think so. What do we do as a Steelers fan? Do we hold on to Russell Wilson, or do we say it's Justin's time to step up? You know what I mean? And I think that, and if I'm Russell Wilson, I want to play my heart out this season to try to get to a Super Bowl and possibly win the Super Bowl and then walk off into the sunset and be done with it. If Russ can win a Super Bowl this year, if I'm Russ, I want to walk off, you know what I mean, with an organization like the Pittsburgh Steelers and say I'm done with it. But if he's not ready to hang it up, what do we do as the Steelers? Do we go and keep another older quarterback and not have his replacement ready and not pay Justin Fields? And this is just something I'm thinking about towards the future with this, with us and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like, is that something that we do? Because to me, honestly, you have to keep Justin Fields there. I think Justin Fields has learned a lot sitting behind Russell Wilson this year. I think he's taking it great. I think the team has responded to Justin Fields differently, him embracing his backup role, or the role that he's able to play on this team. And I think that he's gaining a lot of respect from the other guys and playing the role that he's playing. And you could see that change. Like when he got the first down against the Bengals away, you see how the team responded to him, how the guys congratulated him for going in there, running that play and running it to his best ability. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't get in there and run a mediocre. He went in there, ran full speed, ran the play very hard, like he wanted to win that game. And I think that they're slowly opening up to Justin, and and look, and then the more that happens, and that he gets the trust of the guys more on that team, you got to keep him around. His athletic ability, I don't think that his athletic ability will diminish, at least for the next couple of years. He's always going to be able to run. I think he's always going to be able to run. He's in impeccable shape. He's very athletic. Will he always be the fastest quarterback in the league? No. But right now, him like barely in his prime and in his, his prime and barely being able to use his abilities is crazy to me. I think we have to keep him. I think we have to keep Justin Fields. I'm just being honest. And maybe a little bit stingy, but and if not, then we have to go after a rookie quarterback. You know what I mean? We have to go get a rookie quarterback out of the draft. That has to be on our draft board. If we decide to keep Russell Wilson, um, on the team for another year. The way that he's playing, I honestly could say like I don't know, but we got to see how he finished off the season because he didn't start the first 6 games, right? So we gotta look at it like he has to finish off this season strong and see what happens and where we leave off after that. I would say that depends on it, but if we keep him, decide to keep Russ, I think we would have to pay Russ. I believe so. If we keep him after this year, right now we got him on a Broncos tab, and we would have to pay him next year. I don't know how much he would want to play. You know what I mean? For the Steelers, I don't know if he'll give us a family friendly discount, but look, business is business. You know what I'm saying? If he's able to come in here and still be one of the top 10 quarterbacks at his age, you got to pay for that. And right now the market went way up versus paying Justin Fields, a guy who we know what we're kind of getting out of him. I don't think that he's reached his ceiling at all as far as potential. I just don't think so at all. Because I've seen him play incredible in Chicago, and I've seen receivers drop all kinds of passes from him. Um, I think that he kind of got to get in the flow of the game going, get his juices going first, run for a couple of downs, hand the ball off, fill out the defense first. He's one of those kind of, you know what I mean? I got to jab, 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 kind of tire my opponent down and then start throwing the ball. I don't think he's a guy that can just go out there and just, straight throw darts the whole game and starting off. He kind of got to get into the flow, you know what I mean, of the game and then let those passes come to him. And you're seeing that a lot in the NFL, though. You're seeing that a lot everywhere. Guys winning games. I mean, we just seen Josh Allen win a game for throwing under 200 yards. We seen that a couple of times. We seen Jalen Hurts do that. We seen Jalen Hurts do that also. So you're not seeing guys throwing for 220 yards and running the ball. No, you're seeing a lot of running backs carry the load, and then you're seeing quarterbacks throw for under 150 yards and play great defense and good special teams and win games. That's what we're seeing. And this is a copycat league. The league used to copycat off of our defenses, the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers in the early 2000s. Then the NFL seeing how dominant that be, and here comes the Legion of Boom from Seattle, looking just like one of those defenses. You know what I'm saying? Years later, but it's a copycat league. So what's going on right now? Get us a good running back. We got to shore up that offensive line. I think we go get a good running back. I'm thinking ahead of the future right now. I'm thinking ahead right now, right? And because this draft is going to be very running back heavy, so it's all on what do we need there? What do we need there? We need a guy who's going to hit the hole, going to run the ball hard. I'm not going to say Ollie Gordon ain't that guy, but he's not showing that. Well, I don't think he had enough opportunities to show against Colorado, but I don't know. I know that he can run hard. I know that he can catch out of the backfield, but honestly, I would love to have Omarion Hampton as our running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that he's one of those guys that's incredible for us. I think he would be amazing at running back for us. To come in as a 1-2 punch early guy, younger guy, um, learning behind a couple of other guys. He got the size, he got the speed, he got the hands. But there's a lot of guys in college football, especially at running back, at the running back position, that will be coming out. So it's just a pick 'em. There's a lot of guys I like that could fit with our offense as long as we shore up that offensive line. The offensive line, I think, is our main focus. I would have to agree. Uh, would have to agree with the home girl. I would have to agree with the home girl. Really flawed on this one. I really would because she's also a Steeler fan. By the way, check her out. People really flawed. Exactly what I said in their name. She's a huge Steeler fan. Steeler videos. All my Steeler fans out there that will watch me for the Steeler content. Also check her out. Um, but that's the first thing I would want to shore up. And because once we get that locked down and we get the best of the offensive line, whether it's out of free agency and then getting some in the draft, I think that's what we should focus on and get a back and get a back because we got two right now. Well, Najee Harris, we're gonna have to pay Najee Harris. We're gonna have to pay a quarterback, whether it be Fields or Russ. I think we can get Fields on a discount, and I think that that's more likely with us to do is to get Fields and get a running back, short that offensive line, keep Justin Fields, run heavy, just how everybody else is doing. And honestly, when you look around the NFL and you look at all the quarterbacks that have teams that can run the ball, 1-2 punch, Sonic and Knuckles in Detroit, Jared Goff is Justin Fields that much worse than Jared Goff. We haven't seen a full body, a season of work out of him in a while because he's been banged up. You know what I mean? He's more athletic than him. Jalen Hurts. Can Justin Fields take care of his body? And Pittsburgh will teach him how to. He's learned a lot in Pittsburgh already. He's matured so much as a player, taking care of his body, not wanting to always go for the super big play, not running as much, trying to stay more in the pocket, learning how to make the right throws. And he just got to get used to taking the check downs. You know what I mean? Taking it, dink and dunk the whole game. That's what everybody's doing. He can do that. That's what Patrick Mahomes is the best at doing that. The best, the best. Use your athletic ability in the pocket to create plays downfield. That's it. And we're seeing that everywhere. And this run game is absolutely and it's there. Running backs are back, and I think that we already know that. We got two good ones. I think Najee Harris is a veteran running back that I would love to keep around, but he's going to be very expensive to keep there. Um, and with that being said, like we gotta shore up. We need more. We need more production in other areas too. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if we keep him or will he give us. He already given us so much, so the best thing we could do for Najee is if we're not going to pay him top dollar or what he deserves to get paid is to let him get paid somewhere else. And right now, I don't know if that really fits our team because and I'm just thinking ahead and I'm not trying to ruin our feel good story we got going on right now for the season, but that's how you got to think that in order to stay on top, right? You got to keep wanting to progress in different areas and addressing the areas that need as we keep going and looking around in the NFL and seeing exactly how teams are doing and doing this and doing that, right? And I think that's that's where we're at. That's where we're at with that. And I know that a good quarterback, a good to great college quarterback is going to slide in the draft. Um, hey, and I know this sounds crazy, and I know I might get ripped for it a whole lot. If DJU, if DJ Ugly Game go in the NFL, I think that he's going to translate. I think he may become a better quarterback in the NFL than what he is in college. I think so. I think so. I don't think that. Look, and I know it sounds crazy, right? Because we've seen guys flip flop. We've seen guys flip flop. I know he's not the craziest, but he's big. I think he could use some of that size to throw a lot of guys off. Some of the throws that he makes in college that he misses on, I think that will be completions in the NFL. It sounds crazy, but when you're dealing with professionals, it's totally different than dealing with amateur semi-professionals. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's call it what it is. Everybody he's done to is not probably going to be going to the league or not professional wide receivers. Think it give him a chance in the NFL to see what he does. And if not, and look, you're gonna get him either undrafted or you're gonna get him in the late rounds. And I don't know how you can look at that size and the potential that he has, even with being older and being what at his age. We're seeing a lot out of everybody. But hey, everybody has crazy takes. But if I look at it, and I gotta say that's one thing I will say. At college, I don't know, but in the pros, I think that he'd be one of them guys that might translate over. Them guys, because those guys already went through so much adversity. They already been knocked down a level. They already been humbled. They've already They know what it takes to be hungry and how to stay hungry. Now he's going to stay hungry for the rest of his career. If he gets blessed to get picked to go to the NFL, whatever team is going to get his undivided attention. They're not going to get a cocky guy that thinks that the world revolves around him. I don't think that's what you're going to get out of him. You're going to get a humble person that's going to show up to work every day, try to work harder to get his craft better. And I think that we'll see that translate over. I think so. And those are the kind of guys you want to get when you go into the NFL. It's not all about getting all the star power all the time, because a lot of these guys that we think that are top picks right now and that are doing so good, they won't translate over. They just won't. They just won't translate over. Um, I think Auburn's running back is probably going to be one of the best running backs to go into the league next year. He's not talked about a lot, but he's very good out catching out of the backfield, running wise. I think he's a guy that'll fit perfect up in our system. That we got going on over at Pittsburgh. Man, there's so much, but to try to go back on track about this season and opponents that we're facing, um, we gotta we're probably gonna finish off this season, and I could say, like I said, 11-5. I think I said 10-6, 11-5 is what I said. But I'm looking, maybe I'm looking at us getting 3 of these last 5 games. I definitely want to get this Chiefs game, because, like I said, I, I don't know at that point if we have won all the games up to the Chiefs game. We got, like I said, we got the Browns, we have the Eagles with the Ravens, the Chiefs, then the Bengals. So if we have won these 3 games before we see the Chiefs, I don't think at that point in time, if we clinch a playoff spot, we're probably not going to play starters. Um, we've been known for that. It's something in the organization, the owners, the Roonies, they'll be advising the coaches, don't play our starters. We need our starters healthy, sit our starters. That's just how they roll. They're smarter than a lot of other people that want to try to play their starters for home field advantage. They'll say, all right, let's play. We got a playoff spot. You got the Bills right now that are at 10-2. You got the Chiefs right now that have won a lot of games, and if we clinch with winning 3 in a row, there's no point in playing the Chiefs and the Bengals with our starters. There's just no point of it. And I think at that point, you may be saying that from both teams. I don't know how the Chiefs organization like to roll. They like to get home field advantage. That they seem to play better in that environment, even though we have seen them win on the road. But it seems like that home field advantage to the Chiefs means so much to them. And they'll probably, I don't know, but maybe we'll see, you know, backups playing backups. About time that Chiefs and Steelers game come, maybe we'll see that. But I don't see us playing starters that late in the season if we already clinched a playoff berth. I don't see it happening, especially with having a uh, quarterback who does not heal as fast as he used to 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Don't want to call him old. You know what I mean? Because you're as young as you feel. You know, he just don't get heal as fast as he used to. That's all. Um, but and then when we look at the positions, like I said, like I think we got some pretty good depth on defense. We'll always do good on defense. We'll always find diamonds in the rough. We go there first. And with offense, you can find diamonds in the rough and on offense. And then a lot of our rookies from this year, they will be veterans next year. They'll be implemented in the league a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. That does not mean that we don't go and shore up that position even more and get depth. If we can get a first round pick out of this year's draft, an offensive lineman that is absolutely going to be able to come in and plug and play right now, I don't see why you don't do that right now. Um, Especially I think that's a position in college right now that is a little bit there's a lot of guys out there that can get the job done. A lot of guys. I think so. I think there's a lot of guys that can get the job done. I think that we got to look at the guard position, but all positions on the line. You can't never have enough linemen. You can't. It's just something that you got to have. And if you got a good rotation and depth at offensive line, I think that you're good to go. I think you're good to go at that position. I really do. We seen that take place a couple of years ago in the Super Bowl for the Chiefs. We did. We seen that happen for them. I like the way look, man, and closing out on this whole video about the Steelers and the future of it. I talked about the future. I talked about our little dilemma. What do we do at quarterback? Because I do think that there's and I like Kyle Allen. I like our third string. I do think that having veterans at second and third string quarterback is smart. I think it's smart to do it that way. But I also think that us having a guy come in young from the draft and being able to mold him in exactly what you want in that system is also very smart because now he don't have any old tendencies that you need to break. He comes in young, and ready to learn this one system, and we keep our coaches around. I don't see there being a reason for Arthur Smith to be going anywhere anytime soon. His offense, his schemes, we've seen a lot of different schemes and a lot of different personnel groupings that honestly I like out of Arthur Smith. I've seen some things that Justin Fields have missed on, some wide open plays that possibly could have been touchdowns. I haven't seen our we haven't seen our offense move this well in a long time, y'all. You know, Russ missed 9 passes. Was 29 for 38 versus the Bengals, 414 yards. He threw a pick with 3 interceptions. I mean, 3 touchdowns. Like incredible game. Incredible game. Him and Joe Burrow almost had identical stats, and he's 100 he threw over 100 and exactly what 105 yards more than what Joe Burrow had in that game with our offense and at his age. So I mean, like if he continues to do that from now until I mean, you gotta sign him, right? You can't not sign Russell Wilson if he's still doing that. You gotta sign him, right? I mean, it's just a given. I mean, can't let him not. You can't say okay, we can't pay him, but I do think Fields is our future. But I'm just keeping it a buck. Like business is business, and it is what it is. But he spread the ball around pretty well in the game. I would say we got Najee going in the passing game that game with the screens. Seen a little bit of Cordell Patterson, Calvin Austin had a couple of them, any touchdown. Jalen Warren got involved. We seen that. We got our backs involved. And I think that's how you move that offense. And I think that's our most deadly way. But that's our strengths though right now. That's our strengths, and I think that that's very hard to defend when when you're using your tight ends and those big receivers like that. And I think Arthur Smith system calls for that more than anything else. And that's why I think also a Trey Harris from Ole Miss would fit perfectly with our team. I do. I think Trey Harris would fit perfect. I think Trey Harris on the other side of George Pickens right now would be crazy. I think that'd be crazy. We got Roman Wilson. We have other guys that we could put in the slot, quicker guys, Kelvin Austin, Roman Wilson, that can get the job done there. Smaller receivers. I think we need another guy. And Mike Williams is there to fill that role right now. I don't know if Mike Williams is going to step up and take charge of that role. If Mike Williams is able to come in and step up and take charge of that role, but he has been banged up in the history in the past, and I think we're kind of just using him for like a bridge guy to fill that other role. But we're gonna go younger in that position for sure. But I think a guy like Trey Harris is somebody that we got to be looking at right now from Ole Miss. If not him, there's another kid from I like the kid from San Jose State. I think he's another guy that would fit good. Harold Fannin Jr. from Bowling Green. I think he's a tight end. Um, and he'll probably go to a team that could probably use a tight end a little bit better, more than us. You know what I mean? But because I don't really know if we'll go after him, knowing that we got Darnell Washington, a big guy, and he can block his ass off. I don't think that's valuable. That's very valuable to have a guy that can catch like Darnell Washington. And he's not slow, but he's not the fastest, but he's not the slowest, and he's very strong, break tackles, and you can use him as an extra tackle. That is dangerous because he's also eligible to catch a pass on you. And I think a lot of people lose track of that because he blocks so well. And I think that that's invaluable at the tight end position. So when we got a receiving guy like Fire Move, but maybe can't, if that blocks okay. But then you got a guy like Washington who can catch, but is not the fastest, but can block the way he does. Like we got the perfect balance at tight end. And then we got Cam too. Cam Hayward's a beast too. All right. College football. And then so I want to look at the stats real quick, and just to get a quick look at the some of the receivers that might be coming up this year and balling out for us. Like, want to see that real quick. Nick Nash, his name is Nick Nash. Nick Nash, McMillan, T Mac. There's a slew of guys. Like I said, Xavier Restrepo, he's just a great underneath guy that could open up so much. Jack Beck is all right. Jordan Tyson's all right. Tyson 6'1". I don't know if but yeah, Trey Harris for sure. I think he's a little bit banged up right now, or just was coming off injury. But yeah, him, Nick Nash, T Mac are guys that definitely are going to fit this Arthur Smith scheme type of offense, and it'll go crazy. It'll go crazy. The offense would be absolutely incredible, and I think that'd be great. But look, that's it. That's all I gotta say. That's all I wanted to say about our Pittsburgh Steelers today. Y'all already know what time it is. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. We out, man. Another Truck and Chubby production.